like I'm 30. I feel 30, but.
I'm 29, I just have a terrible heroin problem.
I think we are live now, so we can go to,
Yeah.
we have to call the recess.
You can call it to order because we have a quorum.
I call the Clearwater Sister Cities Board meeting to order. We're going to take a short recess.
No, we don't need to.
Oh, we don't need to?
We have
Okay.
40.
Forget that. We will go ahead and start. And the first order of business is to have our introductions. Amber,
I'm Amber Bryce with the City of Clearwater.
okay?
I'm Indira Yangara. I'm
Okay.
the
Student.
student representative. What school do you go to? I go to Dominion High School.
My name's Stephanie Chill. I am the current president of the Clearwater Sister Cities nonprofit organization.
I'm Doug Kelly with the Clearwater Service. A little too close.
Lena Teixeira, Vice Mayor, Clearwater.
Okay, very good. First, we'll order then will be to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
You're over there, Robert.
Okay.
Hi, Robert, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good, good, good.
Started at 3:59.
Okay. Just, I guess there's no one here in the audience, so we don't need to, I'm too far. I'm just hoarse, so it's hard to, so hoarse I could pull a carriage. Anyway, would like to mention that we have, I think, some more scripts, or at least advisory minutes back there. Okay, so are there any citizens to be heard? There seeing none, we shall move on. All right, is there any new business?
Yep, 4.1.
Is there any new business by anyone?
What's this?
Yes.
Okay,
I think you just read the 4.1 and then what the
I'm sorry. All right,
Use this one, because that's from the minutes, so that's our agenda.
okay. We're supposed to get now, next order of business is an update on the sister city in Mexico.
Yes. Amber Bryce, Arts and Cultural Affairs Manager, City of Clearwater. On Thursday, June 5th, myself and Stephanie Chill, President of Clearwater Sister Cities, met with members of the Mexican consulate in Orlando to discuss the sister city relationship with Ixmiquilpan and opportunities for future exchanges. The group agreed that a city official exchange should happen first, and then possibly a collegiate exchange would be the most practical starting point, as many colleges already have an established program and guidelines and processes in place. Additionally, we discussed the possibility of organizing a small delegation visit within the next couple of years, which would serve as an important step for an exploratory, potential high school, middle school exchanges. Sister Cities nonprofit is going to start taking on a bigger role with investigating and navigating our exchanges. I know Stephanie is going to speak with SPC and see if they would be interested in doing an exchange. I think it's important to note that the student exchanges with Nagano didn't start happening until the late 80s, so we were almost 25 years into that relationship before student exchanges started. First it was mayor visits, then it was city council visits, then we did student visits. So, yeah, I think I'll leave it there. If Stephanie wants to add anything else to
I
that.
can just do, briefly, I did have an initial meeting with the international programs director at St. Pete College, and there is interest in exploring that and seeing what could happen. So there's a good number of possibilities as far as kind of basing programs off what we currently have, where it's a couple weeks and just a very brief experience, but a good cultural exchange, all the way up through longer semester terms or even faculty, the potential for maybe faculty exchanges on some level. So there is a lot of enthusiasm, and we will continue to explore that.
Excellent.
Very good. Any comments or questions from the board? No?
Yeah, I have a comment. I think it's fantastic because it's so relevant with the language of Castellano or Spanish here and the residents of Hidalgo. I think it's in Pinellas County with our density of Hispanic speakers, Spanish speakers, it's perfect. So I'm excited to be part of that, and I'm excited we're all pursuing that. It makes so much sense, and it sends a message to our community in many ways, especially the residents from Hidalgo that live here in Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It'd be nice to get the Mexican and Latino folks here in town to support some of the festivities, especially when they visit here.
100%.
Yeah, very good. Any other comments, questions? Okay. Next is discuss Nagano, the delegation trip. Would you like to do that, Amber?
So the official delegation trip from Clearwater to Nagano, Japan,
Right.
was originally scheduled for October 2024. It was canceled due to the hurricane, unfortunately. The trip has now been rescheduled for July 20th through the 30th. There have been a few adjustments to the itinerary. The Kanazawa City trip has been removed from the list of destinations. The delegation will now spend 3.5 days in Nagano visiting schools, government offices, local businesses, and key historical sites. Additionally, the city manager and mayor, along with council, have arranged business meetings with Japanese companies, including Daiso, interested in expanding to the Clearwater area. So these meetings will be happening while they're in Tokyo. It is recommended that everyone going on the trip review the advisory board meeting from last July, which includes a presentation covering the cultural norms, etiquette, helpful tips, and traveling to Japan. Unfortunately, due to the continued decline of the yen, the upcoming, and they have an election actually coming up next year right around the time they would normally visit, the city of Nagano has decided to cancel their reciprocal trip to Clearwater, and they will not be resuming that trip until the 70th anniversary. So potentially another 4 to 5 years before they come to Clearwater, unfortunately. If their circumstances change, obviously we will welcome them, but that's the plan for now.
Very good. Any comments, questions? Yes.
I am, of course, very excited about the trip. It's been quite a while since I've been there. One of the things that I have advocated for, and I'm very excited about, is the adding of those meetings with various business owners, and hopefully have a positive impact economically to our city due to this trip to Nagano. So grateful for that opportunity, and I look forward to meeting all those various businesses and hopefully have a positive impact on our economy and foster those relationships. So I'm very excited about that addition. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you to our economic development team who helped set those up.
Yes.
What is the delegation? What is composed of it? The council members and who else?
So it's council and their plus ones, city staff, so city manager, assistant city manager, and myself, and then sister cities advisory board who was able to go last year, and so because we had to cancel it, only the people who had tickets could go this year, and then sister cities nonprofit board members have the option to go. And so anybody that's bringing a plus one, the plus ones are paid for by themselves, but the plus ones were invited as well.
Gotcha. Any other comments, questions?
So I think, as I had mentioned last year leading into the trip, the nonprofit, our sister city members who are on the board, a lot of them have lived there, have been recently, whether it was on an education trip or personal travel, so they're ready to step in and assist as we get around if there are any questions, because we've been able to kind of start the conversation about collegiate level exchanges. We also are working on setting up some meetings with Nagano to really explore that with their Department of Education. So trying to jump in and use that time as wisely as we can and be as much support for the rest of the members on the group as well.
Yeah, I think having the board there will be an asset because we'll have people that have been in the country a lot more recently than the rest of us who will be able to help navigate, and they have relationships with the city of Nagano that are
Sure.
a little bit
Sure.
closer than ours right now.
Okay, and let's move on to student exchange trips.
So
Can we
4.3.
get a little brief on
High school students from Nagano usually visit Clearwater each October. However, 2024 was canceled again due to the hurricanes.
Yeah.
In March 2025, a group of middle school students from Nagano did visit Clearwater. Their itinerary included Clearwater Day activities. They attended a Phillies spring training game. A huge thank you to our wonderful families who hosted the students and to Clearwater Sister Cities for their help in organizing the host families and Clearwater Day activities. So I was on maternity leave and my assistant had resigned right before these exchanges, so it was quite a scramble to find some families and for somebody to take over Clearwater Day. So mainly because their visit took place over spring break, it was really challenging to find host families. So we've remedied that for next year. But thank you to Assistant City Manager Dan Slaughter and Clearwater Sister Cities who stepped up in a big way to make it all happen. And then traditionally, Clearwater High School students travel to Nagano each July for a city exchange program. Due to us rescheduling our official delegation trip, the city of Nagano informed us they don't have the capacity to accommodate both trips. So we offered to cancel the high school trip in order for them to have enough staff to dedicate their resources to the delegation visit. The high school, and they agreed. So the high school student exchange program is expected to resume the summer of 2026. Applications for that will open in the fall. Details are available on myclearwater.com/sistercities if anybody wants to apply.
Okay, very good. Any questions, comments?
Are we still expecting high schoolers from Nagano this October?
Yes.
Okay.
On our radio show that Kelly and I have, we'll continue, of course, to plug the sister cities. I think we've invited you and Amber to visit the show right after you come back from the trip.
Right.
Give us a nice report on what happened.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're all going to have a great time.
One other question, sorry, just because it's related to the exchanges. Are we expecting a teacher to visit as well? Because typically, I think they visit around the same time for a longer period.
Don't know. So Cynthia Ramos Gonzalez, who is the Pinellas County Schools rep, I think she's moving to a different position. So another person is going into that role, and they're usually the ones that handle the teacher exchanges. So I haven't heard anything from Nagano about sending a teacher, and they haven't sent anything to me. So I would assume no, but I don't know.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Next item of business is the election of a chair and vice chair for the advisory board for 2026.
So
Do I hear any nominations?
the elected chair, just to make sure everybody understands, would only be for the remaining meetings scheduled August 28th and October 23rd. And the vice chair would just assume the chair's responsibilities if they're not available.
Okay.
So anybody can be nominated, but obviously there's only 4 of you here, so it has to be one of you.
Yeah.
I
I don't-
remember, Robert, you expressed some interest
Yeah, sure.
previously, so I would like to nominate you.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'll second that.
I'll accept.
Okay.
I think you need to vote then.
Seeing as how you're unopposed, you're winning a landslide.
Right.
You still
Thank
have to
you.
do
I
it.
think you have to do a vote.
You still have to do a vote.
Official
Yeah.
vote.
For all those in favor of Robert to take over as chair, and I'll pass the gavel.
I'll make a motion to make Robert the chair.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous.
And vice chair.
And next is the vice chair.
I'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
I think I'm in that role currently, so.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Thank
So,
you, Stephanie.
all right, so,
I make a motion to have her continue in her role.
right? Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
Robert Cantor is our new chair, and Stephanie Chill will remain vice chair.
Yes,
Yes, okay, great.
very good. All righty then, let's see where we're at. Board members to be heard.
Oh, no, some
What?
director's report. The number 5.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stephanie Chill, a report. Do you have a report?
Yes. Can I grab that paper back from you?
This one?
No, that top one. Yes, that one. Thank you.
Okay.
I just have some of my notes on here.
All right,
So for the Sister Cities Director's Report, I just wanted to fill the advisory board in on the middle school exchange. Our students just returned this past Tuesday from their exchange trip this year. It was a little different than it typically is because we also offered to not have the Nagano component as a way to just make sure that our partners in Nagano weren't overburdened with planning a larger trip for the delegation and with a lot of the activity they have going on as far as their government operations are concerned at the moment. So our students, we had 8 students and 2 chaperones go over. They did do a day trip to Nagano. So they started in Tokyo, and then they went to Nagano for a full day where they were really warmly greeted by past teachers, homestay families, and students. And so it was a really great gathering to see how the friendships continue and how excited they were to still welcome our students back, even though it was just lunch and a trip to Zenkoji Temple. So they were there for that day, and then they traveled to the Southwest where they went to the World Expo in Osaka. That's happening this year. And then we were able, with a partner, the Florida Wakayama Association put us in touch with Wakayama Prefecture. That is Florida State's sister state in Japan. And so they offered to host our school visit and our homestay exchange. And so our students went to Kindai Junior High School for one day, and then they had the weekend with homestay families in Wakayama. And just a wonderful experience. We're working on seeing if that is a relationship that we can keep as a representative of Florida when we travel. We always talk to our ambassadors about this trip being a chance to represent the youth of Clearwater, but on a bigger scale, they're representing Florida, they're representing America. And so the idea that there's this 30-year relationship with Wakayama, and most people don't know about it, it's a great opportunity for Clearwater to step in and see if there's a way we can incorporate it with what we already do. So we are really excited to hear more about that. In August, we will be hosting a wrap-up party, so we're still looking to set the date, but of course the advisory board is welcome, council is welcome. It is a public event for anybody who wants to come and learn about the trip, but the students do short 5-minute presentations about their experience. We'll have a recap as well from the board members as far as the delegation trip goes, since it'll all coincide after that trip. So I will let everyone know about that date, and Amber will let you know if you want to share it through the city as an open invitation for people to come learn more about the exchanges and programs. Also on the agenda looking forward, we're trying to do more with youth programming, looking into potentially working on a youth group so that there's an opportunity for students to engage with our sister cities, with cultures, with Mexican culture, with Japanese culture on a more regular basis, have a place for them to go and have that experience. Some of our teachers have really active clubs at the middle school, and some of their former middle school students are now at high school operating some of those clubs. And so we're trying to see if there's a way to really focus it in Clearwater for an opportunity for Clearwater students to have that activity. And within that, we're looking at possibly looking at a festival, a small-scale festival in October that maybe would coincide with Dia de los Muertos, but be a larger cultural festival that is highlighting both Mexican and Japanese cultures as part of some just fall fun activities. So.
Very good.
Great report. That's a great report.
Yeah. Would you like to make any comments?
I think it's really great that we're trying to involve younger people as a high schooler. It would be really fun.
I know when we've had some, the exchange students from Nagano on the show, and some people who went from here, our school, they all loved it. They all said it was a great experience, something they'll carry with them forever, you know. So good, very nice. Okay. Go ahead, Robert.
No, I just said it's a great report.
Oh.
I'm grateful that, you know, the Sister Cities Inc., just a comprehensive report. My son experienced the trip a few years ago. It was life-changing for him.
Very good, yeah. I was hoping to go this year, but unfortunately, a few issues came up. But I was born in Japan, some of you may know. So I really wanted to go, but not in the cards, maybe some other time. Lena?
Are we doing the more board members to be heard or just director's report?
She just did the director's report.
Okay, so we're doing the board members to be heard?
Yes.
Okay. So a couple of things. I think it's never been as important as it is right now to send a message that we want to continue fostering good relationships with all over the world, especially those from Hidalgo. It is part of our fabric, our workforce, our community, and so that's a relationship that we should continue to nurture. Also, continue to nurture our long-standing relationship with Nagano. The exchange of cultural experiences expands our mind, and it is a good thing, a very good thing. So I love the fact that we're focusing on these relationships. I do want to just add for everyone out there that July 4th, Clearwater will be having a Clearwater Celebrates America event. It will be taking place at Coachman Park and Baycare Sound. The festivities start at 5 p.m., featuring the Black Honkies Band. Fireworks are about, starting around 9:15. This will also include a silent disco, games, vendors, food and drink, as well as busters. And the rooftop party starts at 6 p.m., so I hope to see everyone there.
That's great. Sounds like a fun time. I did have one question on the trip, the Mexico trip. Has there been any date set yet, or is that still in negotiation?
Yeah, no, we're not setting, the first step would be college exchanges.
Right.
And then we'd have to set a budget. There's a lot of things that would have to go into it
Okay.
before we can actually do a trip.
Too early yet? Okay.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. All right. The only thing I have to say is that I've enjoyed being on the board and adding what my meager abilities in that regard. I did want to meet some people from the Mexican community here, which I did not do. So maybe, Robert, you could follow up on that if you so choose,
Yes.
and get some excitement maybe in that regard. Other than that, I still look forward to being on the board, and I look forward to all the good things that we're planning. So I know there's a lot of moving parts to it with the staff and whatnot, so it's always more complicated than it looks, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And we appreciate you for being chair
Yeah,
for this past year.
pleasure to do so. We don't have any citizens to be heard, so that will be skipped on the agenda. And the only thing left at this point, unless anybody has anything else to say or add, would be to adjourn. My last pound of gavel.